the Baron lane. Maybe we might have been better to see the likes of maybe a Malphite, but we don't really see Malphite that often at the moment in competitive play. But yeah, as you said, it is going to be fasting Senna down in the duo lane. If you don't know how fasting Senna works, it's basically Senna doesn't really get any farm at all. She's still played as like a duo lane carry, but it's basically going to be the Galio that will be taking the farm. That means Senna gets to collect as many souls as possible, and she can scale into the mid and the late game as well, and just pretty much attack from infinite range. But definitely an interesting two teams as well as we get into hopefully game one very, very shortly.
I actually quite liked Entropiq's comp until they put the Irelia in there. I thought actually you've got Morgana with Stasis, who's going to be a real nuisance for your very heavy melee threats. You've got Diana, who's good anti-melee champ in her own right as well. And then I was thinking just like, get another big kind of like AoE CC block person in there, or like you said, the Malphite or something like that. And then they just lock in Irelia. I'm like, well, she's going to get eaten alive by Fiora. She's going to get eaten alive by Darius. That's not the best. Wouldn't have been my first choice of picks here, Stu, as we are on to the Rift, and it's Yakui playing Camille mid, because of course Yakui's playing Camille mid.
Yeah, Yakui playing Camille mid, which means that Fiora is going to go into the jungle and Darius is up in the Baron lane. So kind of what we expected, to be fair. I think that's kind of the standard of what we expected. And we see Hydro and Showdown in the duo lane, as we kind of expected as well, playing that fasting Senna. You'll see Senna as she's doing here. She's just going to try and get as many stacks as possible, and she's going to leave the farm over to Galio. So Galio's gone for Aftershock, which most of the time means that maybe he might go for a more tankier build, but as you mentioned already, there's not really anyone or any real tanks on the side of Entropiq that can really do that much. But wow, Fee already going really, really low in this Baron lane.
Stu, look, I'm going to come at you from a Galio connoisseur. I always take Aftershock and Galio, regardless of what build I'm playing, because it's just too good with him. It's just too good with him. As you mentioned, though, Fee is going, kind of taking a rough trade, already forced to use his honey fruit at this stage in the game. It was a very aggressive play by Sekuta to kind of get up there and put some pressure onto Fee, who's on the Darius.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you see the roams already happening. It's 4 people up in the Baron lane, which means Morgana down by herself. But I think that's a great thing about these AP duo lane champions, is that they can wave clear so quickly. The likes of Ziggs, the likes of Morgana. We saw Doom do it last game as well. And we might be seeing a fight a Skull Crab as well here.
Here we are. We're going to see a binding come through. Yakui taking very low as the Flay comes in. Has got the ignite and the hook's there. Has to be forced to flush away. Nice taunt coming out from Galio on Scowl. It's going to be a Vex over the wall for the first blood. We'll find it eventually. Uses that riposte to buy some time. Actually manages to dive out, but will go down to the Diana eventually. Very messy play around the Rift Scuttle there. But it will be Navi that comes out slightly on top.
Yeah, the Entropiq took the top lane Scuttle, and they were like, okay, we're just going to go down to the bot lane Scuttle as well and take a team fight. Vex did get the Scuttle Crab in the end, and the taunt here by Show was really good. Watch Show here. Dashes in, gets a 2-man taunt, sorry, because the Black Shield stopped from Thresh. But yeah, Vex flashed over the wall, was able to get first blood, but unfortunately for him, he died himself as well. And in the end, an even trade 1-for-1, which is, okay for both sides. I think Navi really wanted that Scuttle Crab, because if you give 2 Scuttle Crabs over to the side of Lee Sin, that's a lot of gold. That's a lot of experience that Nedro can get on the Lee Sin. But in the end, not too bad of a trade. Is even in gold at the moment. Nothing too crazy happening as... We've seen, I mean, I think, like you said, with the Irelia as well, I'm going to find it, I think Irelia's going to find it really, really hard to try and dive in onto Navi, which what Irelia, loves to do. She likes to try and land the sun, try and dive in, as we see this as well. Fee.
I mean, that's a lot of damage. Gets saved by the shield from the Thresh here. Fee does not run the ignite, though, so he's going with, as the kick comes through, there is the Sonic Wave. They are getting the support from the sidelines with the Senna. And it will be Vex that picks up the kill. Now Yakui jumps in with the Hextech Ultimatum. Just got nerfed in the last patch. Here comes the taunt coming out from Scowl. And it will be Yakui who goes down to Patras. Just about manages to escape, but Show picks up the kill right at the end. 1-for-1 overall in the mid.
Yeah, a lot of roams happening across the map at the moment. In the Baron lane, Fee nearly solo killed Darrell. As you said, the Thresh saved him with the shield. And Nedro thought, we could try and maybe catch out Fee, but in the end, you had Vex up there as well. And Vex was able to turn this fight around. You can see Irelia can't really do that much because she was so low on health. And then you saw in the mid lane as well, Show being able to roam in the mid lane as well against the Diana. And even though it was a 1-for-1 trade anyway in the mid lane, you can see that the rotations already on the side of Navi. They're trying to rotate him out around the map, which we're seeing a lot more, I feel like, in Wild Rift. I feel like at the start, and especially last year, there wasn't really that much in terms of roams, but we're seeing a lot of roams now by, you know, all members of every single team, really, which makes the game really, really interesting. It shows how important the early game is in Wild Rift.
Yeah, and it's so fast-paced as well. Just roams that are coming out, it shows you the pace of the game. And so Vex, with the support of the rest of his team trying to go for this Rift Herald, they don't want to make it easy for Nedro to get the kill, and they're going to go in. That's the huge damage coming out from Fee on the Darius again as the stuns come through from Haru. That'll be the first kill going over onto Skau. Actually, this Aurelia starting to pop up as the healing going for them, and actually escapes. I can't believe they just let an Aurelia get away with that.
I mean, I said before that Aurelia can't really jump around against his comp, but I guess NAVI just let them jump around, and now they're going to be able to take the Dragon from this as well. I'm not too sure who picked up the Rift Herald in the end. I believe it was Vex that picked up the Rift Herald in the end, so they do trade objectives. But yeah, you lose Infernal, you lose the fight as well, and you can see here, if you keep an eye on Aurelia here, using the ultimate to get in to get the stacks for the first ability, you can see he's just jumping around, and he just can't really do that much. He's getting the resets on his first ability, so he can keep jumping around. He can keep dodging abilities, and that's a huge start for Entropiq. A gold lead, a kill lead. They do lose the Rift Herald, but they get the Infernal Drake, as you said.
I think the really big part of that fight, though, was the fact that Haru on the Morgana, it shows you how powerful Morgana is versus heavy melee comps, a bit like the Darius. 2 people stunned by the Morgana, which allowed the setup from the Aurelia to come in. And that was just Haru doing work in that team fight there, Stu.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't have the stasis just yet, so it was a little bit scary to see the ultimate come through and show how close he is. But yeah, as you said, you know, when you have multiple melee members on the side of NAVI, it's really hard to kind of stop the Morgana, or kind of escape really from the ultimate. And she did stun 2 people in the end of the 4-man ultimate from Aurelia as well. And that's not a bad start for Entropiq, to be fair. You know, they're even on gold as well. They have the scaling as well of the Morgana. They have the Diana and even the Aurelia as well, which I still feel like as the later the game goes, it will be hard for Aurelia. But if she can, you know, keep a little bit further ahead, and if she can keep at least even in gold, she will be complete fight. See Vex at the moment in the top side of the map again. Both junglers really prioritizing this top side map and showing how important this is. But Vex is going in.
We've got 4 members from Entropiq. They took the bait. Skau is there to try and buy some time. He will pick up a kill and flashes out. Should be a shutdown going over to Skau. But that was a huge bait from Entropiq.
The rotations again, Entropiq seem to be on the same page, if not ahead of NAVI at the moment. But the Galio as well just shows how much of a power pick Galio can be at the moment with that grand entrance, Grand Skyfall. I can't remember what the ultimate name is actually. But yeah, being able to come in from the mid lane up into the top lane, which didn't make the trade seem too bad. But Entropiq, I'm really liking the way they're playing this game at the moment. Mate. They've kind of taken it to NAVI.
Absolutely. I mean, not just taking it, they are, by all accounts and purposes, ahead. You know, they're even on gold, but ahead in kills. They've got the Infernal Drake. This is huge. Take a look back at that fight.
Yeah, 100%. You can see the Lantern was being used as well. Everything was just being dumped on this Baron lane. And in the end, Show was able to take one back, but 2 members dying over to the side of NAVI. You see that Vex still has the Rift Herald. He will use it now in the Jury lane. You can see that members of Entropiq again. Look at the rotations again. Lee Sin's coming down. Thresh is starting to come down as well. Diana's coming down. You see Morgana move into the mid lane as well. These AP mages that normally play in the Jury lane, they most of the time rotate into the mid lane to just try and get that mid lane priority, so then they can rotate around the map as well, which I feel like Entropiq has a bit of a lead when it comes to mid lane priority, because you don't have a lot of wave clear on the side of NAVI. You have these, you know, this top side with the AD bruises and everything, but you only really have like Show and Hydro as this wave clear sort of tool, but that's nothing compared to a Morgana.
No. Absolutely agree. And they're trying to put pressure in through the side lanes right now too, but honestly, both their side laners are behind the Diana and the Aurelia. I mean, Sekutka he's at like 7,000 gold. He's got an entire grand over Fee right now, and Fee's just struggling to kind of keep up with this Aurelia. Got to also look at the fact that we will see Show building a AP Galio, so it is full AP Galio. Gone for what we call like a bit of a tankier Galio build. He's gone for the Crystalline Reflector. I really feel like Galio is one of the few champions in the game that actually uses Crystalline Reflector. And I think that's pretty solid into this matchup as well, because you've got like an Aurelia and a Lee Sin who might try and burst you down.
Yeah, I think another champion as well is actually the Diana as well, which actually works quite well. You see the Diana herself, because she likes to dive in. When you play these AP champions that like to dive in, like to kind of get in and amongst the enemies, in amongst the Navi, you know, they gonna want to build Crystalline Reflector to kind of negate most of the AD damage. And with Camille, Senna, you know, Fiora, Darius, it's kind of a no-brainer for Diana as well. Both teams at the moment kind of posturing around the Dragon for now. Nothing too crazy going to be happening just yet, but it looks like Entropiq have complete control of this river right now.
Absolutely, but they are losing bot lane prior. You can see that QE went down towards that bot lane. Wave is going to shove it in, which is going to make that setup a little harder for Entropiq to keep. And it's now the mid lane that's being kind of pushed back here by Navi. Obviously, there is a very easy tower take on the top side of the map, which could see a Rift Herald drop. But obviously, if they went to commit to top side, it would be an easy Drake take for Entropiq. So no one really pushing the button to go for the top side play yet.
Yeah, I think Cloud Dragon, most players or most pro players feel like Cloud Dragon is one of the strongest with Infernal as well. But enough of that, down the bot lane.
Yeah, QE just unfortunately doesn't quite make that work with the hook shot. He will go down eventually. You can see now Xiao, unfortunately, with a great taunt, needs someone to follow up here. You can see that Fee was waiting for a potential move with that Decimate, maybe a flash to work with, but didn't commit to the play. It will just be that top lane tower that gets taken down. Vex, I think Vex has to try and go for another tower take here to really make this Rift Herald get some value.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the two dragons now going over to side Entropiq, especially being the Infernal and the Cloud Dragon as well. But that bot lane fight, again, Entropiq are the first people there. Entropiq players are just rotating so much quicker than Navi and catching Navi off guard, which Navi are probably thinking at the moment, it's like, wow, we weren't expecting this. And I think a lot of, you know, we definitely weren't expecting it either, to be fair, coming into this. We thought that, you know, Navi, one of the strongest teams in the entire tournament, but Entropiq is saying to us, like, look, we're a team that could bring it to Navi as well. We can come up with these rotations. We can pick off players from Navi. 8 kills to 4 at the moment. And again, more rotations in the top lane.
Yeah, and QE targeted once more. This is just beautiful stuff from Entropiq. Now, it's up to Navi to try and respond to this. And it is that mid lane that's going to get focused down. You can see there isn't anyone there to defend it. And I think Navi will be relatively happy with trading mid lane tower for a life.
Yeah, mid lane for top lane tower. They do lose a member, and they might not even try and engage here.
Yeah, might do as well. The exhaust comes out. You know, Harrow looking for the engage. Nedro can't quite find the Sonic Wave. Oh, the flash hook! It's enough, but his fight doesn't start out the way they want it to. As an immediate riposte from Vex stops him getting locked down. You can see now, there's the ultimate from Morgana. That gets taken away. This is a good start for Navi if they want to look for a fight, but they are going to back off at the end. Still a net win for Navi as they just keep themselves ahead in gold ever so slightly.
Yeah, this is a really, really close game right now. You can see even with that mid lane fight as well, great flash hook for the side of Pogo on the Fresh, but couldn't really follow that up because of the riposte of Fiora. And then you had Irelia's ulti missing, the Sonic Wave missed as well. So both these teams are feeling the pressure now. As you said, it's only like a 2,000 plus goal lead now for Navi, but you have the scaling of Entropiq with these dragons as well. The extra movement speed from Cloud Dragon, the extra damage from the Infernal Drake as well. Irelia is looking really, really strong now. 3 items already for this Irelia, Blade of Rune King, Trinity Force, and the Death Stance as well. And look at the rotations again.
Oh my God, they're just on top of Vex. He goes down, and now you can see QE struggling as Xiao comes into the fight. Can't quite find the kill onto Sakuka, who's buying time, finds the stun, and Xiao will go down eventually here too. It is a huge win for Entropiq. What on earth is going on for Navi here? And Hydro can't even pick up the kill. Can't even find the kill with the ultimate. Darius has to be careful versus Patras. Can't actually find the engage. And my goodness, Entropiq, they are looking like the team that is likely to come out on the top here.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I feel like just Navi are just not really on the same page, and they're just a step behind of Entropiq, because every time we see a fight happen in these side lanes, it's always Entropiq that are there first, and now they're just going to go to the mid lane, and Hydro is by himself.
Hydro is by himself. He's trying to buy some time. The stun will not land. They managed to get the immunity coming through. The hook lands there as well, but have they overstepped as the rest of Navi is coming in? It is a fight under the tower. This is something that Navi might want. The stasis with the ultimate from Morgana. Look how much damage it's going to get done. Fee though. Fee with the double kill. Somehow Darius finds his way back in with a single fight, an overstep from Entropiq. And that has bought a load of gold that they sorely needed.
They really wanted to get their mid lane tower. They're still trying to get the mid lane tower as well. Low health members on the side of Navi, and yeah, they have to give it up. But now they're trying to fight. I'm not too sure if this is a fight you really want to take.
Yeah, I've got a lot of damage coming out from Sakutka though. And Patres and Nedro will back off. That is the man that you have to look at. The solo laners, the real powerhouses here for Entropiq, and have been all game. Haru and Pogo, they're just kind of distraction techniques in these team fights, really.
Yeah, you see the fight here. They really wanted this mid lane tower. They already lost the mid lane tower already on Entropiq, so we were like, yeah, we need to get a mid lane tower as well. Great hook as well, and I think you mentioned during the team fight as well, the ultimate here from Haru. As you can see, Morgana ultimate into stasis, but Fee getting the recess with his ultimate. He gets double dunks and was trying to get more as well. But as you said, it's just an overstep from Entropiq. They really wanted their mid lane tower. They did get it eventually afterwards, but look at the gold lead now. It's basically nothing. Like 200 gold in Wild Rift, it's nothing. It's honestly nothing.
But the most important thing, Stu, is in favor of Entropiq.
Yeah.
They turned around a gold lead for NAVI, and they now have it in favor of them. Now there's the hook coming through from Pogo, but he won't find anything. They've snuck a dragon here. Yekui will bounce over the wall. Pogo flashes in. There's the flame, looking for the engage. The kick coming through. That will be the Hextech ultimatum. The hero's entrance to buy some space, and that's an immediate kill for Fee. Now they're looking for more as the Morgana ultimate comes through. They're right in the middle of the fight. Yekui's trying, as is Fee. They're trying to find something as the rest of Entropiq are bouncing forward. Patres forced to flash away. Vex going in, finds the stun, finds the double kill, looking for the final one onto Pogo as he gets the slows down. Vex have absolutely pulled something out of nothing here and suddenly turned the game on its head.
I felt like it's another overstep from Entropiq again. They tried to get the play. They saw a few members off guard and kind of away from the rest of his team, but they didn't have vision. They didn't have vision on that side of the Navi's jungle. And in the end, it was Navi. You can see here, Fee and Hydro in the back able to just delete pretty much delete Lee Sin off the face of the map, and then it's a 5 versus 4 situation. And when you get into this situation as Navi, you know eventually you'll be able to win the fight. And you look, you see like Patrice was trying to jump in. So many members were trying to jump in, but Vex here, look at that parry, being able to parry the dark binding of Morgana, getting that root, getting the double kill, and eventually killing off Pogo as well. But that was all about the vision control really from Entropiq. They thought they had the pick. They thought they had, you know, they caught Navi off guard, and eventually it was the Lee Sin that went down and pretty much got deleted because Fee and Hydro were standing to one side.
Did Yekui Hextech ultimatum the Lee Sin kick? I feel like he did, because the Lee Sin kick went on cooldown, but I don't actually know who he kicked. It didn't look like he kicked anyone, but Fee targeted, will get the Sonic Wave on top of him. He's going to get dropped down very low, may have to just give up his life here as Entropiq bounce into action in the mid lane. They are not down and out just yet.
This game is definitely one of the closest games I think we've seen of the whole of the WREC so far over the past 2 weekends. And you can see the Entropiq, as you said, you know, they're not down and out yet. They have lost the Baron, but they do pick off Fee, which means that Navi can't really do that much now. They were trying to go for this 1-3-1 situation with Vex in the Dura lane, Yekui in the Baron lane as well, but they can't really do this anymore. In a 4 versus 5 situation, they have to be really, really careful, because if they do lose another member as well, it will be really difficult. But you can see they're still playing really, really aggressive in this mid lane, but they have to be careful. Here comes Irelia, not going to be able to engage just yet, but Navi is still playing with fire. Even in a 4 versus 5 situation, they're still trying to get an advantage and get something at least from this Baron.
I think the real thing you need to watch out for is Sekutka, because he's the guy that's got all the gold. He's the guy that's completely fed. He's at 15k. The only person that matches that is Vex, who, by the way, is at 16k as a jungler. I'm going to be honest with you. Vex is at that ridiculous stage of Fiora where it's just impossible. That's a great parry straight onto the back line. They're going to have to hear his entrance as well. They desperately held on to that tier 2, but Vex made them pay. It's the double kill for Vex and the Fiora as the pull comes through. Won't quite land, won't go further than that, and that should be an inhibitor tower now. Vex and the rest of Navi suddenly woke up. It took them about 15 minutes to wake up in this game, but they are now firmly in the driving seat.
Vex proving that he is definitely one of the best junglers in this tournament. You could put him on someone like a Fiora, which, you know, you don't normally traditionally see in the jungle if you're coming from PC League as well. But that's a great thing about Wild Rift. You can play these kind of pocket picks in the jungle as well. And this parry here, look, you're able to parry the Moonfall from Dino. Then he could just flash in. He could proc all his vitals as well with the ultimate, and he could just completely decimate Entropiq. They weren't able to find any more kills. They weren't able to finish off the game with that push or with that team fight. But in the end, they were able to get that bot lane inhibitor tower. And with the Elder Dragon now spawning, Yeah, I think all eyes would definitely have to be on Vex now. Where is he going to be? Is he going to try and focus on this dragon? Is he going to try and get onto the back line as well? Because, you know, 18,000 gold now. He's full build now. He's the only member on anyone's team. And now it's going to be all eyes on the dragon.
I mean, they don't want a 50-50 the Elder, right? There's too many. I mean, I think Entropiq have picked up too many dragons to 50-50 this. But you can see that they're actually being very careful as the engage comes through to the backline. That's immediately onto the stasis. There comes the ultimate from the center, but Vex is on the backline as well. So much damage coming out. I think at this point it is impossible for Entropiq to keep themselves in the game. The Darius finally making work of that front line, and Vex just pumping out too much damage. A double kill for Hydro, who's been basically invisible as the support all game, and NAVI should be able to push down for this Nexus. It was a hard fight. It was a struggle.
But against Orion and Nami, a bit of an interesting one. I feel like Morgana definitely does have the pushing power, but they have the sustain with the Nami in the dual lane for NAVI. But going into the second game, you know, we're going to be all eyes on Entropiq with them rotations. We're going to be seeing if they'll be able to get that early game lead that they did in the previous game.
I mean, Gragas can do the roaming, can still have those like sort of impacts with the gank. So we will see, Stuart. Will Entropiq be able to pick themselves back up and get back into this series versus NAVI, or will we have another 2-0 on our hands? That is what we're going to see as we head into game here. Game 2 of this series. NAVI looking to match themselves up against WREC in the second round of the upper bracket. If they do win this, WREC looks absolutely clean as you like from start to finish in their game. NAVI having a bit more of a, I'd say much more of a challenge on their hands. Even if Entropiq lose here, to be honest with you, Stuart, they're definitely looking like one of the best teams in the loser bracket.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think Entropiq have definitely surprised a lot of people, definitely surprised us as well, because we thought, you know, NAVI, one of the top teams, we don't really see too much of Entropiq. So we're like, okay, you know, NAVI is going to be up there as one of the best, and they're going to take down Entropiq. But I think that's a great thing about open qualifiers, and the great thing about this tournament is that teams like Entropiq can come from pretty much out of nowhere and just surprise a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I completely agree with you. That's what I like so much about the open qualifier system. It's great to see these kind of plays. As skirmishes punishing Fee a little bit there. You can see YukiWei trying to find some edge on Patres, which she does. Patres not able to find the charm. And you can already see both rosters going a bit back and forth in this laning phase right now. I would say that skirmishes has had Fee's number in most of these trades in both games, realistically.
Yeah, 100%. skirmishes has definitely been, like I said before the game, definitely one of the shining factors, really. And Fee, you know, we haven't really spoken too much about him, a new Baron laner for NAVI. He's been fairly consistent in other tournaments as well. I think he won't hate me for saying this, but he used to be a Soraka one-trick before. In solo queue. I still remember his Soraka one-tricks in solo queue, but now he's going in on Camille.
Oh, they're trying on to Nedro here, but they won't get the flash out of Vex. Vex looking for the stun. They have the support coming up from Pogo, as is Xiao. They're going back in. It's a beautiful bubble. It's a double bubble, but they can't quite find the killer to Nedro. The stacks are up. Can they get him down? They do. First blood. And they're going for the second here, as it will go straight over to YukiWei. Brilliant play from NAVI. Great rotation, and the impact of Xiao.
Again, it's the supports rotating again, and Xiao was there with the bubble. As you mentioned, a two-man bubble onto the side of Entropiq, and YukiWei as well. Oh, he's just dead. That's clean.
Second kill in that mid lane. Completely took Patres off guard, and honestly, it looks like NAVI got a wake-up call in that first game.
We're going to see the first replay here, though. You can see the show was here with, you see both the supporters just walking along together, but it's the bubble, the two-man bubble, but the stacks were there for skirmishes. He was trying so hard. He wasn't able to get enough healing off as well, as I believe he was ignited, so the healing wasn't too much because of the grievous wounds from Ignite, but again, showing that he is one of the best enchanters, I feel like, in terms of support role. But that mid lane play as well, it just shows that with Ori, you can't use that charm early on, because if you use that charm, if you miss it, and Patres did miss it, YukiWei's just going to go in, and he's still going in as well. He just doesn't care.
Tower dive, literally tried to tower dive as Patres maybe looking for the charm. Nice block of the damage there from YukiWei, and will buy himself some time. Something that a lot of people know is you can actually stop yourself from moving when you do that. So even if you get charmed, he was not going to walk towards him.
I was about to ask that. I didn't know if that was a bug or something, or if that actually was a thing that, like, so is it when you activate Irelia's second ability, and if you get charmed, you still stay in the same place, I guess?
I'm pretty certain. I need to check the interaction more frequently, but I'm pretty certain that's a thing. If not, maybe he was literally like a modicum amount of range. But I'd love to actually, if you know the answer to that, tweet, because I'm not entirely certain. I'm just going off what I literally saw on screen. But it looked pretty fancy nonetheless.
Yeah, it was. I'm not too sure if the charm landed. I can't actually remember now if we saw the little charm landed. But yeah, very interesting interaction if that is the case. But you can see this already. You know, Yakui going into the duo lane. You can see Fee as well up in the top lane. And you can see you see this quite a lot. You see the duo laners for both teams.
Cannot be interrupted. So whilst you're charging, Defiant Dance cannot be interrupted.
Oh.
Okay,
well, I learned something new today.
Exactly. I've learned something that has been confirmed on broadcast. Something new has been learned.
You learn something new every day, Excoundrel, and Shao again on this Nami.
Yeah, trying to go on to Sakuka. Sakuka's trying to buy up stacks. You can see Fee. Fee was so reluctant to go for the final kill there. Almost gave a kill back over to Sakuka. And Shao almost paid the iron price.
Yeah, Shao again with these roams, a great bubble into the top side. And Yakui, he's going in again. He doesn't care.
Flashes in, the double stun here as well. Haru goes down, now Pogo able to get away, and honestly, that is a 3-0 Irelia. Yakui's mid lane Irelia is coming to fruition. The first tower of the game goes down, and what a different story this time round. 5,000 gold for NAVI by 5 minutes.
This is the Navi that we was expecting coming into this series. And as you said, 5,000 goal lead already coming in at 5 minutes into the game. And it's honestly the rotations from Shao that are really really bringing a shining light to Navi. They're able to, he's able to land the bubbles on multiple members on the side of Entropiq. And Entropiq are the ones that are falling behind now. Normally you saw in the previous game, Entropiq were the ones with the rotations. At this time, Navi, maybe it's a bit of pressure in the first game. Normally first game in a tournament, you feel a little bit of pressure. But now I feel like they're a lot more comfortable now. They got the first tower of the game as well, up in the Baron lane. And yeah, you can see Yakui now. He's just feeling it. Look at him, the dodge on the charm as well. This man is so hard to stop when he's on form.
Yeah, and I've got to give credit to Vex and Shao. Both of them have been involved in 100% the same kills as Yakui as well. They've both been there to help set up this Irelia, especially on that mid lane little fight where Haru went down. Vex was the setup. He's actually getting a bit further ahead in that jungle. You can see Entropiq not feeling as comfortable this game. First tower already gone, second tower almost drops here as we are working towards a 4-man tower dive being on the cards. As Vex Joe goes in, looks for the fight, does get the kill, and that should be the second tower of the game.
Yep, second tower of the game going over to Navi. You can see Fish just chilling in the top lane as well. He doesn't really, he's like, yeah, you guys could do that. That's all fine. I'm just going to carry on split pushing in the Baron lane. I'll be completely fine. But yeah, Navi this game, much better early game than the previous one. And Yakui again.
Yakui again. Oh, does go to a try to go 1v3. You're not quite that strong yet. And that'll be a nice shutdown going in. Well, actually not a nice shutdown. It went to Pogo. That's literally probably the least favorable member to have the shutdown go towards.
Yeah, unfortunately, the shutdown did go over to Pogo, but a little bit of an overstep for Yakui. I think he was a little bit overconfident there, trying, like you said, with a 1v3 situation. Unfortunately, it does fall down in the end, but yeah, I think even with that death as well, Navi, look at the gold lead already. Crazy amount of goal lead in this early game, and they already took the Herald, they took 2 towers, they took they lost the first dragon though to Entropiq. So Entropiq again focusing more on the dragons and focusing more on trying to scale into the late game. I mean, you look at both team comps in terms of the late game. You have Orianna, you have Jax and Irelia on the side of Navi. But so I feel like even if Entropiq does take the dragons, Navi have a better late game going into this as well. So now they have the early leads. They just need to kind of make sure they don't overextend and they don't make any misplays.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw at the Horizon Cup what the Jax jungle meta could do as the game progressed. Just become a side lane menace who takes towers in a matter of seconds, and that's still on the cards here for Navi. A lot of gold going the way of him, and Haru almost dying to the shockwave of Hydro, who been a little quiet this game, but has got 1 kill to his name as Sakuka goes down. Vex picks up the kill. Baiting a couple people in around this mid lane tower. You can see the rest of Entropiq still rotating well, but this time it's all defensive rotations here, Stuart.
Yeah, exactly. It's all defensive rotations. They're trying to defend this mid lane tower, which they do in the end, but with the Dragon and with the Rift Herald spawning, you can see the Navi are one step ahead already. Entropiq are just backing away. They don't want anything to do with these Dragons. I think they realize how far behind they are at the moment. And when you're this far behind, I really feel like you can't even contest these objectives. And when that happens this early in the game, you really feel like that you're kind of backs against the wall already, even this early on in the game.
Absolutely. And I think right now you're looking at a gold lead that's extended out to around 6,000. They have actually kept a lid on it a little bit here, Entropiq. It was 5,000 at 5 minutes. It's only about 6,000 now. So it's not a bad thing, even though they've lost 2 towers. They are keeping things relatively healthy. You see the flash comes in from Pogo, looking for the attack, but can't quite find it. However, might have netted them enough to go for the Rift. But I say that, here comes the engage, the wave over the entire Entropiq team. Oh, it's a triple kill. It was like shooting fish in a barrel for Hydro. And that is another big win for NAVI. Huge slaughter of a team fight right now.
Absolutely disgusting. You mentioned it, the Nami wave across all the members, the shock wave as well, and even Yekui's ultimate as well, being able to dive onto the backline. You can see Patras is all by himself as Ari, and they're like, okay, this is our time to go in. Look at that Nami wave. Yekui jumping in as well, and Fisha's like, yeah, Ari, you're just going to stay with me the whole time. So Entropiq not really on the same page this team fight, and Patras on this, Ari was just a little bit away from the rest of his team, and that's where NAVI can punish. And honestly, you give NAVI that opportunity where they can go in and they can engage, and as you can see, they're just going to take it, and they are just going to wipe you off the face of the map. And now over a 10,000 goal lead, 12 kills to 1 as well. Entropiq have a mountain to climb to get back into this game.
Yeah, it's a huge gold lead now in favor of NAVI, and honestly, that was just Entropiq setting up a really aggressive position on the Rift Herald when they really didn't have the means to fight on their terms. Like, even if they did want to fight on their terms, what is their game plan with this comp? Like, for me, the game plan kind of feels like let this sort of melee trio walk on top of my Darius and Morgana and hope for the best. That definitely feels like the play here for Entropiq, but just didn't work out because they're a little bit too far behind right now.
Yeah, I think it's more to, you know, you've got the double mages, you've got the Ari and the Morgana for the, you know, for the wave clear and everything as well. I think that's what a lot of teams really prioritize with these AP mages down the dual lane, is to do with all the wave clears, getting that mid lane priority and everything as well. But unfortunately, they're just clearing waves in their base at the moment. There's not really, they can't really get out of their own jungle right now.
But they're just like, what I'm kind of trying to work out is, like, if you were trying to win a team fight as Entropiq, like, how would you attempt to win it? Is it like a pick with Ari to start things off, or are you literally just hoping that Vex and Yekui would stand on top of your Morgana ultimate and then Darius gets some dunks?
Yeah, it is a little bit, it does seem to be a little bit all over the place. And there's, Pogo actually going in. I don't think you can 1v1 an army, I'll be totally honest with you, but we love to see a support battle. Yeah,
I mean, he had his ult, so I was thinking maybe he could go for like an ult pick and then... But then that's like, what would you even turn it into at this point as Entropiq? Yeah. Maybe a mid lane tower if you're lucky, but Oriana's already there to clear the wave, so...
Yeah, they're trying to push out this mid-lane wave. They're trying to get a little bit of control over their jungle. You can see at the moment, they only have 1 ward at their blue buff, and that's about it really at the moment. And NAVI have just complete control over the jungle. You can see they're grouping up as 5 members now. And if they catch out a member of Entropiq, Haru... Oh, I was really scared there for a second. I thought that Haru was going to face check, but... in the end, I feel like maybe he had his spidey sense tingling there.
Yeah, his spidey senses were tingling. You can see no one's going to face check Vex right now, but they will get the blue buff before this next dragon spawns. 1 dragon apiece between NAVI and Entropiq, and it looks like the fight is going on. That'll be bot lane tower that's being prioritized. I wonder if NAVI can look for the fight here. You can see that Fee and Yekui are there. Yekui's building up a few stacks before this fight starts. Oh my god, Vex, how much damage do you do? What on earth did I just watch?
That's a Jax that didn't even have his passive fully stacked or anything, just auto-attacking. I'm pretty sure he didn't use any abilities or anything. He was just standing there auto-attacking.
Is that legal? Is what I just watched legal?
You can see...
It's not even late game Jax. That's just Jax.
Exactly. I think that's just Jax in a nutshell, is that he could just like jump on and just keep auto-attacking you with his... I don't even remember what is his weapon again. It's like a cane, is it?
No, it's a lamppost. It's a lamppost.
He just hitting with his lamppost. He doesn't care. He's like just chilling there, hitting with the
imagine
lamppost. He can
if
come
he
straight
had a
as
real
well.
weapon.
That was a good one.
Actually, with this skin, it's like a spade. Or
Yeah, it's like a shovel.
It's like a shovel spade thing. That is that was literally just Blade of the Ruined King Triforce Jax as well.
That's absolutely disgusting.
My only explanation for that damage is that he stacked his third hit of his ultimate passive and then used his second ability. That's the only explanation. But they just get Baron for free. There's the wave looking for the engage here. They knock the Edge of Night off the Nedros. They flash forward past the charm, looking for the engage. Black Shield won't save the day here versus Fee. Vex is maybe looking for the stun. He's a 4-man stun, and it sets up the rest of the team fight here for Navi. Yekui jumps in. Yekui slaughters the backline as Nedros forced to flush away. Yekui's healing up here, should be able to get out through this tower, but that was a disgusting team fight again from Navi.
Yeah, the counter strike from Vex being able to flash in and land a 4-man stun, as you said, a 3-man stun, as you said, and this could honestly be the game, Scoundrel. Baron minions, it's Nedro versus the world, and we'll have to see if he can defend, but I don't think there's a lot that he can really do here.
No, they're going to take him down easily. It will be the kill over for Shao.